Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. We're back here at Meriwether Lewis Campground and we're going to be enjoying a good dinner tonight. I think tonight we're going to make something that one of you guys suggested, so as soon as we get back from this little walk, we're going to get started and we're making it with the Omnia. Since we made it back, it's time for us to start on some dinner before it gets dark, and today we're going to be making an Omnia recipe of nachos. Nachos are something super simple that we all enjoy. We're going to be using the Omnia oven and just a regular butane stove for this, and one of you sent us this recipe and said you got to try it, but you were kind of vague on how you made your nachos, so we're taking a few liberties to make a very unique style of super messy nachos today. Riley is currently underway of locating all of her parts of this equation. She has our chicken, she has the Omnia, and she has some olives for us. Meanwhile, over in my van, I have two different kinds of tortilla chips. I have some limes, and I have some very messy cheese that we're going to be adding into this. And I'm really excited. This is going to be so tasty. And it has been a cold day here today, so we're just looking for some warm comfort food that's ooey gooey and delightful. Also, because we like to use up all of our leftovers, we have a little bit of meat from the other night from our Philly cheesesteak, so we're going to be putting that inside our nachos also. Camp cooking doesn't have to be hard. It can be things that you already enjoy and just making the most of it, trying different flavors. And so when we found out we had a little bit of this left over, we were like, ooh, that could be tasty. So we're going to be using some chicken and some Philly cheesesteak. Should be an interesting take on your standard nachos. Okay, now that we have the Omnia out, we're going to go ahead and just open it up, spray it really well with olive oil spray, and then we're going to start loading in all of our chips and toppings, and we're going to kind of layer them. So it doesn't have to be in any specific order, but we want to make sure that the cheese is on the top. So I have two kinds of cheese, and we're going to be putting one on about halfway through and then one on at the very top, and it should all melt together and be all delightful. For today's chips, we have these, the Sausalito's, and then also the tortilla restaurant style chips. So we're just going to put in a thin layer of each and then put down toppings and then another thin layer and then more toppings. Starting off looking pretty good, nice and colorful with the two kinds of chips. Now we're gonna put in our leftover Philly, and there's just enough in here that should cover it with a good round of meat. And this has peppers and onions in it also, and a little bit of seasoning, so that's gonna marry very well with the Sausalito chips, specifically that taste kind of like salsa. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of mix this up and get it loose because it's been sitting in my fridge. And then we're just gonna start spooning it on one little spoon at a time. Now we have two different kinds of cheese that we're going to be using. One is a paste and one is a Mexicali, and one is white, one of them is yellow. This should be delightful. So we're going to start off by, I think, starting with the paste to kind of put on the first level. We found these at the Dollar Tree, so for $1.25 we were able to get our cheese sauce, and we thought this was going to be a better way to have something ooey gooey. So everything came from either Walmart or the Dollar Tree for this meal. Everything, even the Philly cheesesteak. Okay, now that that's begun, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and start this on low so it can start to build up some of that heat because it's pretty chilly out here. So while I'm going ahead and chopping up the chicken just a little bit, I'm going to close this off and let it start to get warm. So I'm just gonna back it way down to like a much lower setting, and that way it can work on just getting the cheese all ooey gooey before we put on the other cheese in just a moment. Riley and I both like olives, so I'm gonna add some olives to this because why not? So I'm just gonna go ahead and go back in with this cheese spoon. Let's clean up. And then after we get all of these in, I'm going to have to add a few more chips. Just a few though, because it's pretty full. Last but not least, the final cheese. So we're gonna make sure that we put this kind of on top, but also in the cracks along the side so it can just seep down in there. So this could take a minute, but we're just looking for any place that there might not be cheese already. Okay, everything is nice and topped off, so now it's time for us to close it up. And we're gonna cook it for about 20 minutes. Now 20 minutes is going to let this get nice and hot on the inside. It's going to develop all of those flavors. It's going to soften the chips just a little bit, so some of them will remain super crunchy and some will be just almost fall apart. We have the olives, we have the 2 types of cheese, we have Philly cheese, and then also the chicken in here. So again, this isn't a meal that we would eat every day. This is probably realistically going to last us a couple meals because this is a lot of food, but we did hike today, so I feel like we deserved a few extra carbs. But more than anything, I wanted to try this out because one of you guys told us about it, and I wanted to see if it would work out doing it this way because there's so many different ways to make nachos. So now, as I clean up, we're just gonna wait it out. I was right, this was too much for a small container, but not enough for a big container. Oh well, that's life. This stuff is pretty cool though because it's already pre-cooked, so you can use it in a wrap or you can use it in something that's a cooked dish. So this was less expensive than purchasing raw meat to cook, which is wild. The world is weird right now. This cost $5.98 for this big bag of chicken. If we would have gotten the exact same amount in regular chicken at Walmart, it was almost $8. I am so confused by that because that's kind of the opposite of what it used to be. So yeah, we also found that the vegan meat or the Beyond chicken or Beyond beef was cheaper than the actual beef or chicken, which again, kind of wild. We might have to do some recipes with those. Okay, the limes are ready to go, and I just went ahead and put them in this little container so we can take them to Riley's Subi because that's where we're gonna eat. So now all I have to do is close them in. So you might be asking yourself, why are you guys gonna go to Riley's Subi? It's smaller. Well, it's because she kind of has a table set up where whenever we're both in the upright position, we can both use it and we can set the food on that so that we can serve ourselves. And it works out pretty well. In my van, even though I do have a little bit more space, I don't have a really great table setting. And if I'm sitting on my couch, I'm taller than Riley, so it makes it kind of awkward and precarious. That's something I'm going to work on in the future with my van, but for now, this is going to work out really great. I also have some rice pudding that we picked up for dessert, so I'm really looking forward to that because I haven't had that in a really long time, and I thought that those flavors would complement the nachos pretty well. Sure, okay? But we're getting close. I'm gonna finish cleaning up and then we should be ready to go and find our pot holders and then take this inside for a delicious meal. Hey, Riley.
Yeah.
Are you excited about nachos?
I'm so excited.
I am too. I'm so excited, and they're almost done.
This is the best idea we've ever had.
It's gonna be cold tonight, so I'm so excited about this one.
Yeah, here's what you do, okay? Here's what you do. You just run in place, right? Like me, I was just going like this, right? Just around the table. Ooh, my ankle gave out. It's fine. Everything's fine. But anyway, move your body, right? You just move your body to get it warm, right? And then do this. Except don't sprain your ankle like I almost just did. Ow, I should sit. Ow.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna help the fact that my fingers are pink because it is so cold outside.
Well, hand warmers.
Yeah, definitely gonna grab some hand warmers. Probably about to go put on my pajamas. And whenever we eat in Riley's vehicle, I'm gonna be nice and toasty again. But these are almost done. Oh, they look so good. They look so good. So with that said, guys, I'm gonna go and change in my PJs. I'm gonna move this into Riley's car and I'll see you in there and we'll show you our final bite. It's been a great day. It's been a great day to have a good day. But now it's time to go and get cozy. Fat, full, and fed. That's how I like to be. Remember, guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. Stick around to the end. We'll tell you how we like it. And if you were the one who sent us the nachos, there were a couple of you guys out there. Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. And if you have any suggestions for us, make sure you leave them in the comments below. Now, Riley and I are going to be continuing to make some different things as we travel together, but even after she parts ways, I'll be continuing to cook up some yumminess for you guys. So let me know what you're interested in. And if you are interested in seeing some vegan options, let me know. I have some ideas for you, and with the prices being a little wonky, we might just dive into those as well. The food, how is it?
It's just so good. We did let it sit for a little bit too long, so the chips have gotten kind of soft, but it's okay. If you use a fork, everything's fine.
It's kind of like a little casserole instead of just nachos?
Yeah, and actually, you know how we use the medium salsa or sauce or whatever? It's a little spicier than I expected, but it's really not that spicy at all. Even I can handle it.
Yay! So I'm about to make mine as well, and then we're just gonna retire for the night. After we watch our shows, it's kind of cold, so I'm ready to go over to my van and get all cozy. And I know Riley and Tyson probably are gonna want to snuggle up tonight. Aww.